All right, welcome everybody to the Bookmap Academy. We do this meeting every Thursday. Last couple of Thursdays we've been away. One was Thanksgiving holiday. The markets were closed. We decided to cancel the event for that Thursday. And then last Thursday, actually, I was away, but Dan and I were just swamped with all sorts of other pro trader webinar events and other things, and we just couldn't manage it last week. So apologies for that. We've got some great content though, and a lot of people engaged in the program. And what is this program? All right, so let me first go over that. And I'll bring it up over here. If you are interested in it, go to the More button under bookmap.com and then Bookmap Academy here under Community. And basically, it's a program we put together for you to elevate your own skills here, and you can get Bookmap for free if you follow the process in here. You can get data for free if you become a coach. You can get add-ons for free as well. Why would we do this? Well, we want to better our traders. We're offering this path in here, and you can follow it right here. Okay, first is you apply to the program, and then you start making content. You start journaling your trading, and you mark up your charts and you post them into social media and over here on in Discord as well. And then if you meet the threshold for a qualitative, meaning that do we look at it and we think this is excellent content, as well as quantitative. You have to meet at least one a day consistently. If you do that, you will be invited to the Bookmap Academy. At that point, you will be getting Bookmap Global Plus for free each month, but you will need to continue to make that content and earn it every month. If you double the quota, just 2 posts per day, you can get the add-ons like the stops and icebergs for free as well. If you do really well here in the Academy, you can become a coach and you can get data for free as well. In fact, I've got a special announcement to make here, and we have a new coach, ladies and gentlemen. We have John 412 is now officially a Bookmap coach. Previously, he was not able to partake in the coaching process, but now he is. So welcome, John, and we're really pleased to have you here as a coach.
I'm delighted, thrilled to be here with you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, really, really great stuff. You've been really a big part of the community. As David, as Shark, as Laura, Stephen, I mean, DNT Matter, all of these traders in here, they are coaches over in the Bookmap pilot program, Bruce's pilot program, and we invite them up here to the stage as well to cover events here in the Bookmap Academy meeting. So welcome, guys, and big warm welcome to John. John is not going to change too much. You'll just get an assignment each week and
Good
to
man, John.
mark
Well
up your
done, sir.
charts. So
Sounds good.
uh,
Sounds good. Looking forward to it. Thank you.
excellent, excellent. All right, so guys, now there's some other things I need to go through in here because if you're new to this process in here and you're just kind of feeling it out, well, you may want to go and get Bookmap and try it and post in here and get some feedback in the community. And what better time to try it than with the sale going on right now? Let me show you. Just go to bookmap.com and go see all the December deals here. You see Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and add-ons deal. All three are excellent deals. And the Black Friday one is really great because it's 3 months at 50% off Global Plus. It also includes 50% off of data in the package. So if you're curious, you want to try Bookmap for a period of time, this is the one to get. If you just want to try it for a month, you can get 60% off, and it includes data as well, and that is Global Plus version. And we added this one this year, 50% off the add-ons. Any of the add-ons over in the Bookmap Marketplace. Doesn't have to be written by us. It can be from someone else. It will not include data, but it will include add-ons. So a lot of traders wanted to try the stops and icebergs and MBO bundle, market pulse, whatever it is. This is the time. Go do it. Get half off. Try it out. See if you like it, and then you can continue if you like. All right. So I needed to cover that, and need to go through some disclosures and some other things here, and then we can jump in here. All right. So well, this is our journaling process in here. I'm going to very quickly go through it. Impetus, what's moving the market, key levels, developing scenarios and strategies around those key levels, then look for your setup, and then that's mechanical at that point. You follow your checklist, you know your setup extremely well, you determine your risk and your sizing, and you just execute. You wait for the order flow, and you execute and manage. The Bruce's pilot program, this is a little bit different than the Academy. It's very focused. It is about building an edge with a few specific setups, and then you can trade whatever setups you want once you understand the process. But anyway, this is the biggest gap I've seen between traders. So most are trying setups and they don't know if they have an edge or not. You have to have an edge, else you have no business trading. All right, so it's that important. Anyway, general disclosure, all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Let's jump in, and we'll start off with I don't know. Should we start off with David? I think since
Cool.
yeah, you're who do you have here?
Got Shark and Daniel. Maybe we could start with Shark because he's there, isn't he? How's it going, buddy? You good?
Okay. Let's see which one's
Sharks.
which. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I got Sharks. Okay.
So Shark's got the low volume pullbacks,
Excellent.
which, as I demonstrated, which I'll stick in the chat. You know, these happen all day long.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to hit these out of the park. You do. They just happen all day long. They really do.
Yeah. So let's see. Sharks up here in the chat. So
Yeah.
Shark, take it away.
Take it away, buddy.
If you remember this one.
Like David said, I think these happen all day long. If I had to sum up the current market in a couple words, I think it would be flat and lethargic. So I'm trying to get to where I can identify something like this that I can just take a base hit out of.
Yeah.
And keep moving on. So once the market's moving in one direction, knock some base hits out of it, and not try and get into something and hold it forever.
Yeah.
So this is what I've been looking at. Of course, this might be a little different, Bruce, than the way it was explained in the video. I kind of always see everything starting with the trend line. I think based on that 1, 2, 3 I've been working on for years. So I've included that in the structure here, right? Price, who's in control? Sellers were in control here. You don't see it at the beginning, but sellers were in control. We had a couple moves down. I see that little trend back up, and then a horizontal structure. So price pulls away from the structure where I tagged it an impulse move. It's not a huge impulse move. It's not a blast of sellers, but it's definitely sellers taking the ball.
It is, yeah.
And then price moves back, tags that horizontal structure, and falls back out. And so that's the place where I want to focus on trying to grab that entry where I have number one tagged to Bruce, where price moves back into the structure.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see your entry here.
Mhm.
It's beautiful, Shark. This is exactly what I'm
Brilliant.
talking about, and in the video as well. This is exactly it. It's even a little bit better, but I'll let David give his feedback here.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Although not a lot to add. These, just saying it again. These are just such nice trades. You've got to be able to, do blindfolded or whatever. You've got the liquidity coming in. So I'm stealing John's mic here because I know he'd want to talk about that. You've got the liquidity coming in just above where it says absorption in the green text
Yep.
and box. That's building. The price scoots up just a little bit, and then down she goes. You've taken your profits just above that, or in that same sort of area. Yeah, it's so reliable. These are they happen throughout the day. I don't really keep account of the type of setups that I do, but this has got to be within the top three. It really is. You took 4 or 5 points out of this trade, Shark, and I know the next one you took about 5+ points out of it, and they just happen all day long. Sometimes they don't get me wrong, but it's that liquidity that's the key. And I'm going to throw the ball now to you, John, sir.
Yeah, well, you have the structure well defined,
Yeah,
and Shark is aware of the liquidity that's starting to build below.
that's it.
He sees the sellers coming in predominantly throughout the structure, so he's waiting for that break and then the pullback. So he's showing a tremendous amount of patience by not just taking the break, but waiting for the pullback back into the consolidation range, and then weakness from there. Liquidity below stays in the market, and so that makes his target. And it's a good, consistent way to participate. I love it. Yep, really good stuff.
Yeah, really good.
Thanks. And John, congratulations on official coach status.
Well, thank you.
I have considered you a coach for a very long time, but
Oh,
congrats.
that's very kind of you. Thank you. I'm thrilled. Good.
Great stuff. Very good. Bruce, something for you to add, sir, please?
Uh, yeah, just and there's really not too much, to add because this is picture perfect, Shark. And this is the one thing I would like to add is and maybe I made a mistake with the pilot program of starting off with the reversal, but I really wanted people to understand passive accumulation. And this is the break of the structure, and you're actually getting in on the pullback here. It is a low volume pullback as well. You could tag this either way in my mind.
Yep.
But yeah, it could be the trend line break accumulation, or it could be low volume pullback. It's a beauty, Shark. You nailed it. Like, this is where it broke structure, high volume. This is an impulse move. It's impulsive enough here. And then there's a little bit of volume on this retest here, but it's a beauty. You wait for it to turn around, jump in, and you write it right back down to the liquidity here. And you even waited for it maybe to break further, and you saw a little bit of volume come back in, and you just took your profit, hit your base hit. Awesome. It's excellent. So what I wanted to say is this is going to mesh extremely nicely with a reversal, because now if it starts trending and you get another impulse move, you're going to get another low volume pullback and another impulse move, a low volume pullback, etc. Yeah, way to go, Shark.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
thing
if I
about
could just grab a couple of those in
All,
any larger move, if I could just grab a couple of those, I'll be happy.
all day long.
my homework for you, Shark, here is that so you take the fat green volume bubble, Bruce, which is just above the sort of the play button on the chart. You go right.
Play button.
Right.
Oh, there. Oh, here.
Oh,
Yeah. That big fat volume green one you've got coming in there.
yeah.
That's the one.
Okay.
So what I want you to start to learn or look at is what can then happen.
What can then happen?
Yeah, Bruce, can you? I know in the chat I've stuck in. You got a bookmap chart next to my Ninja one
Okay.
in the chat. I don't know if you're able to quickly pull up that one.
This one.
That one, yeah. Now this happened, guys, 30 minutes ago. Yeah, and this is David doing a low volume
Sorry.
pullback.
Hold on a
That was
minute here.
about.
I just lost it. Where did it go?
Where she go?
Let me try that again.
That's okay.
Okay.
There
we go. Okay.
There you go. So you can see where I've got in. Well, we don't need to on the Ninja it shows it. You can see where in yellow I got in, and then I go out. You got the liquidity building. It's exactly what you've got, Shark. 101. 101. But what you'll notice on this chart, you'll see that yellow line at 25,670. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I know this is going to go back up. I've got high confidence it's going to go up. If you put up the next chart, Bruce, which is the full bookmap chart, please. So this is what I want you to work on the weekend. Now, why was I going to go long? Well, I was looking at some option stuff. I haven't sent a chart for that, but you can see over on the far left, got one of John's favorite of an L300 level. So it's just in the cloud notes on the far left, Bruce.
Sure.
That area there. So I was expecting a reaction. We didn't get much reaction before, but we're now in that sort of final area there. There's a bit of stops going on, as you can see. There's a bit of stops going on. I'm looking at Hero. So I've taken the dollars on the low volume pullback, but then I then got in long as we get into the close, and you can see that went nearly 50 points. Now, yeah, I had a bit of lady luck on me, but that's what I want you to think of next time. What's next? What's coming?
Where we circled the buyers on my chart.
Yeah,
that's the what's next moment.
That's the next moment. Roll the dice, buddy. John, catch me. You're good at these, I know.
No, I agree. One thing I wanted to mention, Bruce, if you could go back to Shark's chart.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention, I think he continues to refine his trade management. He had a trade today, which was brilliant, as well as this one. You see where his stop is located. He's not putting that over the top of the range. He's putting that at a place where if it takes that out, it's probably going to revisit the top of the range. So I thought that was well done, and he's bringing it down, right there. Exactly. So instead of going way over above the range, he's taking it just above that pullback area. So his risk to reward is very much on his side. And over time, that's going to serve him very well. And
when you recall when I used to stick that stop always above the top of the trend line pivot,
and that would put your risk to reward ratio at against you, and you have continued to refine that, and that's going to help you in the long run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well done, Shark.
Indeed.
Thank you.
DNT, sir. Shall we? Something to add, please, if you're on the mic. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. That sort of thing.
Yep. DNT, you there?
Oops. Sorry about that. You hear me now?
Yes.
We can, sir.
Okay, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody? Good.
Good.
Oh no, this is good, Shark. This is actually Bruce, and you guys already answered the question, which was the trend line break accumulation and a low volume pullback in one, right? So okay, I think that's you guys answered that. This could be either. This is kind of both, right? So this is like a combo punch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of see. Structure through my lens starts with the trend line, even if I'm looking at some basing price action or whichever it's doing. It kind of that trend line is just always what my eye is attracted to first. So I think in this case, I see that helps me dial into the horizontal structure so that I can look for the pullback and not jump the gun.
All right, cool. Very good. Thank you for that. And yeah, as John mentioned, this is something that I look forward to, which is in that consolidation, you already have sellers in that pot that are already. So you're not the first one selling. And that's the thing with the reversal setup, the trendline break accumulation is, sometimes it feels like we're the first one trying to sell.
Yeah.
And I use that those sellers is that those are a pretty nice gauge to tell you like you're not the first one selling here.
Great
Yeah,
point.
your side that you're going to be trading with is pretty healthy here, and
Yes.
those ones will really work out nicely.
Yep.
Yeah, so I like that comment.
That's such a great point. Without sounding too cocky, John, you may have seen
Yeah.
that. Someone said that to me this week in Spot Gamma. They said, you literally, like, you were the market, you were getting in. Yeah, that's a great point, actually.
You're trading with the order flow. Absolutely. And
Yeah,
that's what Bookmap
yeah.
is about. And that's the value of those volume dots and the volume bars, the delta based bars and dots. I
Yeah,
think it really brings a lot of clarity to who's in control, without a
yeah,
doubt.
yeah. So when people ask like, "What do you mean? Like, is your side healthy?" Well, that's exactly what I mean. Like, do you really want to be the first one trying to short this thing?
We don't.
Yeah, exactly. And it's really nice to see like some health on your side. And yeah, Bookmap shows are really nice.
That's a good question. Thank you.
Well, let's to add to that, D&T, I don't know if you meant this or not, but like that's part of the reason why the passive accumulation I wanted to include, because when you've got that on your side and you've got the aggressors moving it, now you've got a lot behind you.
Yes.
Mhm.
If it's just aggressors, it can come up here very easily.
Yep.
It can break it and wobble around a bunch. But if you've got passive liquidity in here filled, and you've got the impulse move here,
Yeah.
and you got it's there's some volume here, but it is lower compared to all of this in here. And then you waited for those sellers to come back in, which is brilliant.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
Yeah. And I like what you said, Shark. So anyway, that leads to a powerful move. But I like what you said, Shark. In this environment, it's back and forth. You take your profit here, hit your single. It went another 5 points or so, right? But this is a beauty, and you don't know it's going to do this or not. And
Yeah, it actually looked like it was starting to reject at that liquidity
Yep.
there where you just had your little box.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, right in here. That's what you're talking about, Shark?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we don't know, but
So it's a good, yeah, a good point, Bruce, where you were talking about getting that liquidity filled because, it goes back to what it was like the setup that you have here. It's a supply and demand setup, and like Shark knows it really well. So,
Yeah.
yep, and that liquidity getting filled, that supply just getting filled on the way up, and then that move out, that it's just like a supply and demand. It's really cool how it works out.
So Shark, what is that level there in your cloud notes? It's fuzzy on my end. I can't read it. What is that?
Okay, so that's what you've heard me say minor sell off low
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and minor rally high a bunch of times.
Mhm.
So that was a break of I had another a much larger trend line
Mhm.
that this kind of was drawn inside of.
Mhm.
So that level was the minor sell off low of the larger
Mhm.
trend line.
Mhm. And so in real time, the market's agreeing with you because they're building liquidity right at that level.
Right, and it's one of the reasons I thought maybe it's going to reject there because
Darn right.
I do
Yes.
often see the rejection at that
Yep.
level.
Yep. Yep. So you had two reasons. Good. Very good. Yep. Whenever
uh,
you can build those confluence of elements, that's order flow. That's what we do. Yep. Sorry, Bruce.
no. I was going to ask Trading His Life if he had any comments.
Wow, what can I say after all you guys done? You don't cover it all. But Doc, man, excellent job. I know you've been focusing on the low volume pullback and you really nailed it. I mean, you hit every element. The first price action was in the range, then it broke the range, then it had the impulse move, and it couldn't go down further. Then you had your pullback, which the range became your support. And soon as you seen the low volume on that, you got right in. I mean, that was perfect. You've been focusing on that, and you nailed it. There's
And I did
nothing
take a page.
that
I
was.
did take a page from your book there. As I'm looking at the dots, I'm now thinking about the
Hmm.
size of them. Right? Okay, are these buyers smaller than those aggressive sellers there? In this case, they are, and it's almost not looking at volume as a whole, right, Bruce? But looking at delta.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do well. And Bruce, I think you just to comment on your question, I think you started with the right strategy with the trend line break accumulation, because I know Shark is a more of a seasoned trader, so he probably would have understand the concept. But far as me and people that's coming in, without that strategy, we would not understand passive and aggressive accumulation. So I would have been lost. Maybe not, but I think with that trend line, I was able to understand the difference between passive and aggressive accumulation, and I can basically read order flow. So I think you started off with the right strategy. Just
Agreed.
my opinion.
Yep, agreed.
Wow.
100%. The elements of the setup are they are really good elements that you've identified, and over a long period of time, I'm sure.
And you can imply it like you kept saying this from day one. You can imply it with any strategy. So I think you started off with the right one. And congratulations to you, John. Like Shark said, you always been a coach. I don't know how many times I
Very true.
DM you for advice and stuff like that. So it's just making it official, but you've been coaching for a while.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Trading is Life. I mean, like, and D&T and Shark, because like you guys, like, I threw a tough one at you, and like Duzman's in here. Poor Duzman. I've seen him take this perfectly so many times, but he's just fighting the uptrend, for example. And you know, but he's able to manage it and not get run over. But it's a tough one to kind of understand. But if you start to understand that context, you're way ahead of the game. This is not a no-brainer, but like this next one here, Shark, you're going to be seeing it left and right now. You're going to be taking it all the time, and you're going to be making like, you know, 2 to 5 points frequently,
Yeah.
maybe more, and it's an easy one. It's why I covered it in the supply and demand many times. After the reversal takes place, you can start to layer into it. So you could have gotten in a couple of times basically if this continued to trend, but anyway, yeah, it will add. You can scale in basically, and add to your trades on this.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that too, because I think I have done that. With learning that strategy, that's like if you're already in a trade and you can basically scale in. Because before I used to I see a pullback and then I exit the trade immediately. But if you're already in the trade and you understand the element, you could be like, okay, that's a low volume pullback. Let me add here instead of getting out completely.
Yeah, exactly. And there's going to be a lot of nuances to the low volume pullback as well. But this one, Shark, is just picture perfect, really. So
Let me see, what day is this? There's another
uh,
one that was back to back with this, Bruce. That was the almost identical looking, just the
Yep.
exact same structure.
okay.
You've got one for Monday, the next screen,
Okay, yeah,
Bruce.
I think that's the one.
Yeah, we can have a quick look at that, maybe.
Let's see here. Is it something that you covered here?
The one? Yep,
Okay.
that's the one. It literally is a rinse and
right.
repeat as
All
I've
right.
put down here. Yeah, there you go, buddy.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, your
Yeah, so
homework on this
same
one.
trend line structure.
It is. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say it's the same thing to me, right? I get the impulse move sellers, another impulse move sellers. That's where I see the break of my little trend line, and that's when my eyes kind of dial into, okay, there's the horizontal structure. I want to pull back somewhere to that.
Mhm.
And if you notice the sellers along the bottom of that horizontal structure box, there's two sell dots that are kind of right on line with it.
Yeah.
That's the exactly where it pulls back to, is those sellers.
I'm sorry. Right here, or where are you talking, Shark?
On that line, yeah. So if
Yeah.
you slide left on that line, you're going to see two sell bubbles right on it. Yeah, one there, and then the one you were just on.
Okay.
It pulls back right to that structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
It pulls back to that new liquidity at that structure.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right? There you go.
Yeah, yes,
in
it
there.
pulls back to
That
the
new liquidity
liquidity.
comes in, they cancel it, and down she goes. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Right, Bruce?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look
I
at
mean,
that.
boy, it kind of opens up a little bit of a can of worms for me. There's so much to cover. It usually on this kind, if this was a reversal shark, I don't know. Like I usually see this kind of liquidity here only the first time. Not always, but you can see it kind of amassing in here as well. And then it gets dark over here. Because they're already in the trade, and people aren't looking for a pullback. It just exhausts out, and sellers come in again and hit the bid.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of nuances even with the low volume pullback. So but you got it, Shark.
You did. The difference here is when you go for the play button, Bruce, in the bottom right hand corner.
Oh, look at
yeah,
that.
there you've got a fat seller this time, not a fat buyer.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is dropping like a rock here, is what it looks like to me.
A really difference. Yeah. The bit of homework on this chart here for you, Shark. If we go over to the far left, Bruce. Now, I appreciate this is perhaps a slightly higher risk chart. That's it. Yeah. If Jack was on the call, he'd be maybe supporting me in terms of we got those lower highs just starting to happen there. We got some selling coming in. We've got John will talk about how that liquidity level at that line level you're talking about is sort of shrinking away. There are some signs here that we are going to dip down, but it is a higher risk trade. But those are things that I'm looking for, trying to get in front of the trade, trying to be the first guy in. So have a think about some of those. They're definitely high risk, but if you can anticipate where the market may be going because of the liquidity changes, which John will talk to in a moment, there are other trades
I
we have.
will do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like I said, I can't think of any other word except lethargic. Like the market is just kind of meandering a lot lately, and I just want to find something where I can get in, and be out, and not have to go through the emotional ride of being in a trade that's going offside onside. Just get in, get out, and see if I could find another one of these structures setting up.
Definitely.
Yeah.
John, sir, please.
Yeah, a couple of things. Shark, what was your target though? I mean, I saw you brought your stop down to exit, but what was your target? What were you looking for?
My target was the Tarantino blood liquidity before where I got out. Yeah, right there. Except I'm pulling my stop down. So in my head, I'm thinking, well, maybe she keeps going. Maybe she hits that next liquidity. Maybe she consumes that and keeps going. And I just stay in and keep dragging my stop down. Now she did.
Okay.
My stop was pulled in and knocked me out, right below my target, which is great. It would have been cool to catch that next leg of the move, but I'm happy. I'll be happy with a piece that big.
That liquidity was consistent, starting with the impulse move when the diagonal trend line was broke. You see how they're building liquidity below.
Yes.
They get down there, cancel it, roll it down, cancel it, roll it down. It's almost as if they're guiding it down, and then they're adding liquidity where you had your target. So that's perfect. I think that's a great read and a great placement and very realistic. because that's what it's showing you. That's what the market is doing. It's following that liquidity down. Brilliant.
Yeah, and I could put my order on top of that to just take me
Uh-huh.
out there.
Absolutely.
But if that little, if it's going to consume that, and
Hmm.
maybe I just follow along for a little bit.
Hmm. Hmm. Good.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Shark, you gotta let us know when you keep doing these. This is great, and it's really nice that it didn't take that liquidity right there, because it leaves that target open for you right there, and that you were hitting. That happens a lot. You probably could have drew like a downtrend line and trailed behind it, but it's like you said, that thing could come all the way back up and take your stop easily, and
Yeah.
you would have really made like nothing on it.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
gonna keep looking for this. Um, this is that, the market kind of is variable. It changes from one thing to the next, and I think this, for me, this is what's working right now. So I'm gonna keep looking for it live. I'll keep coming back and replay and finding where I can locate it, where I did not locate it live, and where I can refine it, and just kind of start programming myself with this little
yeah,
base
do
hit.
it and let us know, because yeah, when I was going through replays, the trendline break accumulation trade, a lot of times I'd notice it going to the V, or like in real replays and in real trades, you notice it go to the VWAP a lot of the times, and sometimes it just it just turns around from there. So I'm curious what you're going to find on this trade. Like, where does it go to a lot of the time when you find these trades? So that's something you could share with us in there. That's all. Keep doing it, man. Good job. These look great. Thank
I've
you.
been I've been tagging I've been anchoring a VWAP to the first trendline pivot, and it's interesting because it always seems to end up right where I tag that minor sell off low or the minor rally high. You'll see it in a trade I posted today. I think I left the VWAP in there.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, great,
Oh,
great move, Shark. Like I said, your lens, you're really starting to see the low value pullback. The only thing is, I think you're starting to you don't want to give anything back. You're starting to draw your stops a little too tight, because if I would have left my stop right above the little green dot, right there.
up
I
here.
see
Hey,
which one you're talking about.
so that way you would
Up
have
here.
caught that move back down. I kind of learned this from John, because when you see liquidity play a step like that, it's like a magnet. It was because you have two layers of liquidity on top that the action would have had to go through. That way, you could have just automatically take your stuff out before it hit your stop loss. But then you had those liquidity down there. It would have went. You would have caught those extra moves. Just be mindful of that.
Will do.
I
How many
trade
people?
Trading is life. I agree. I mean, that's something to continue to kind of monitor. But I think what Shark is doing is spot on, because especially like he said, in this environment right now, this is working because we don't know if this is going to reverse and then go way back up, right? It's back and forth. I think he did the right thing. He's got liquidity. He's got the swing. He's got the low volume pullback. Yeah, sure. Hindsight, I mean, we can look at this and say, like, it's still kind of within the trend. It's still kind of testing the structure it broke here, but look at that volume come in.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
big.
I mean, it could easily come right back up to the top of this
Yep.
structure here, and we just don't know. So I think especially on this one, Shark, you're building tons of confidence by taking the single.
I think the really good part about just taking that single and getting out is there's another one of these downrange for sure in this current market context. These are just going to come and keep coming.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then at some point it'll change, and we'll have to figure out what's going on then.
I don't know. I
Okay.
really don't see this as changing ever, to be honest. But I just can't.
That would be fantastic, because
I
I'm gonna lean into this hard.
Yeah.
Do these all day long, buddy.
I just can't see it. I mean, like, look, you just see it everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Look at this one here. You know,
$200 a pop.
yeah.
Lovely.
There's another one, like, kind of up in here. Here it kind of broke and went back and forth, and then it broke again though, and then you identified the impulse move, right? The pullback to the impulse move, and then you can even see a little break in here, and then boom, off it goes. This is not a low volume pullback though,
No.
and that would shake me out of it for sure.
Yep.
Anyway, well done. And I think this is the right environment to learn how to take profits, in my opinion.
Big time. Big time.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate the feedback, and thank you, Bruce, for giving me this trade. Because, like I said, I'm leaning into this one.
Oh, I can't wait.
It's this 58-degree wedge, buddy, isn't it? I can feel it.
God, I mean, like, I want to make a lot of content for you guys, and just ramp this up into the pilot program a ton.
You gotta use them. You gotta use them.
So,
Yeah.
anyway,
I think the last thing to keep in mind, though, especially for new users coming in with Bookmap, is that he has two things working here. He has liquidity below, and he has volume working toward it.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
really need to have both, not one, not the other. You could have a lot of liquidity below, but if you don't have volume working to it, then that's all you have down there, and it's essentially meaningless. So I think the thing to keep in mind is that to look for those pockets of liquidity and then look for the volume working to it. You're joining a bunch of others that are working in that same direction. I know David posted a chart where he shows a lot of liquidity, but it didn't turn until the volume came in and started working to it. So I think it's important to always have those two things working in concert to build a case for taking a trade or keeping a trade moving in a certain direction towards liquidity. You
great
must
point.
have the volume.
That is fantastic, John. I just wrote that down.
Bruce, can you pull up that chart that John's talking about? I stuck it in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, but I think the reason you have an
I think
open
it's
along
important.
here.
I think it was the perfect time for it.
I hope people tag me
which one?
stacked on this. It's the one OMG.
Okay.
At 3:46 p.m.
Okay.
I think quite a few people tagged stacked on this. Look at this. This is on the Dow, and I'm trading more Dow than I am the Nasdaq or ES because, John, talk it through for me. Help me.
Yeah, I mean, you see where
bugging
the liquidity comes in.
And it's
It
big
looks like
liquidity.
the same entity, right? I mean, they're stacking liquidity above, but the volume's not there until the volume comes in, and then it turns, right?
It does.
So
Volume
you
comes
can
in,
see
and
by your
David's
volume bars that you still have sellers in there. So it's as if that liquidity wasn't even there until the volume turns, and it's like, oh shoot, here we go.
Let's get long. And there was another one above this as well. It went all the way up to the sort of peak of, I'm going to say 24,800. I might be wrong where I took it out, but it was a scream of a trade. Really was.
Yeah.
So would you say as that volume comes in, John, we see sellers sell volume exhausting as the liquidity comes in, and then we get that pop of buyers?
You have a possible inflection point there is how I read it. Now I need more
Okay.
information. But up until then, the volume really didn't respond to it. So, but that's key, that volume coming in. And like I said, that represents to me a possible inflection point. And then we're going to look for it. And we're going to look for more volume to come in. Ideally, you'd like to have some sell stops and some stop runs come in to the downside and then hook it to the upside, something like that. But that's the beginning of it. And that's why I love this approach, because it allows you to be in front of these things as the trades are developing so that you're ready for it. These markets are moving so fast that you can't consider 4 or 5 elements at one time and go. You need to have the first 4 decided, and then you you hit your trigger and you get long or short with the trade. But that's how this approach works so nicely, because you are prepared as you go. And this is a perfect example of that. This is a heads up that says, ooh,
it is.
It's an
And
intent.
it went through those, John.
Oh, did we lose you, David?
No, NASDAQ.
Lost
Sorry?
you for a second.
Am I there?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. So when I'm trading this, I am looking at NASDAQ. I am looking at ES, seeing what they're doing. And naturally, I'm looking at what Hero's doing on those as well.
I need to start looking at this. The only reason I don't is because it's not covered by spot gamma. But
It's
I
not, is it? No. But there's some days there's a bit of a lag, and for people like Laura, this goes back to Wilshire, those three sort of markets, and you can literally see. I had it the other night when the Nasdaq, probably yesterday, the Nasdaq's going south, and the Dow had not yet responded. It doesn't always. Do not get me wrong. It's a bit like the DAX and things in terms of ETH, but it can be a nice heads up when everything else is going south and the Dow hasn't moved. Worth a look. Worth a look.
David, thank you for selecting those two trades. Timing could not have been better for me. I get a little, as the market throws me a curveball, I get a little sketchy, and just looking for this, leaning into this, and then getting your guys' coaching on it all at just the right time is really fantastic.
No, you're very welcome. And as you would say, John, the chart on the screen at the moment, Bruce, this is what Bookmap is about.
Yeah.
And sort of labouring the point, we know David's been using it for a long, long time as a pro trader. If it wasn't helping me do my job, I wouldn't have it. Simple as that. And this chart is 101 why John, me, and others are using it, isn't it, John?
Yeah.
Right.
I know Ruineren. I can't say that. I can't say a name. Sorry. He had a question. Would another short entry at the high above bubble 3 make sense? And that was like 7 minutes ago. So I'm not sure what chart it was, but probably sharks, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was on sharks. I didn't get to that as well. I don't know which bubble. I guess this one here.
Yeah,
that's the one.
Covered that. Yeah, you covered that. That was a lot of volume that came in. So no.
Okay, cool.
Let's see, guys. Any other trading is life? Anything?
No comment.
Okay, we'll let you go first next time.
Perfect.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Let's see. So we went through Shark and David. I see you got the next one here. Daniel Rui. Is Daniel in?
I can't see him in, so maybe we could see if
I
someone
don't
else
see it, no.
Okay.
No. I think Laura said he wasn't going to be around.
Okay.
So if we've got someone that is in, as you rightly focus on.
Okay. Right, let's see what else we got here.
And if anyone has questions too, go ahead and ask. I know Duzman's been grinding too. How you been, Duzman?
Well, Moby covered Robert, and Robert's in here. So Robert, as you guys know, has just been doing tremendous work. So let's invite Robert up and take a look at it. Moby's not here to cover it, but maybe Robert, you want to jump in and maybe you can go over what you're thinking here.
And yeah, if anyone has questions, just ask in the chat. We'll cover it.
Robert maybe stepped away from.
He has his hand up right now.
No, I just gave him.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
He has it up again.
All right. Well, as we're waiting for Robert, let's see. We got Laura from Jack and Nadia. Nadia's not in, which is too bad. She's been doing some really nice work.
Yes.
As well.
Robert is here.
Yeah, but Robert, I don't know if you're in. If you want to jump up on stage, maybe you don't have your mic or. Oh, here he is. Okay, great.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, welcome.
Hello, everybody. As a matter of fact, I don't remember the trade.
let's see. Don't have, oh, November 19th. This is quite a while ago.
Yes, yes.
Huh.
So maybe you will comment my trade, and I will remind myself. Okay. So if you understand what I wrote, and I know, I think I just wanted to say that I can see the algorithm that is working and it's supporting my trend line, something like that.
Okay. Um,
I don't exactly remember what else.
I mean,
What else?
this is something I don't know. I can comment on here,
Okay,
and then
please.
we can take it from there. But
Okay.
and see what you guys think, and then trading his life. Let him have a shot at it here. But you know, we've got a consolidation. We got a breakout of consolidation. We're in an uptrend. You got your trend line, and you got high liquidity underneath. And in this case, this is acting now as support after this kind of impulse move to the upside. So, you know, to me, this looks like you do see some selling in here. You know, down on this one. It doesn't go, it goes a little bit below the swing here, but the buyers remain in control. We come back up in here, and we're looking poised to trade up into the higher liquidity up here, or it looks like some of it was pulled and maybe, I don't know if it was added higher or not, but we do have the 6650 figure here. So still looks like it's uptrending, but maybe kind of struggling up in here. Not too sure. That's what I see. I don't know. Trading his life. I don't know if you or Robert, if there's something there.
Yeah, yeah. I think that you mentioned much more than I could see. Just I was waiting for our main setup, and I have noticed this small details that I could see the trend line, and sometimes we have to move our trend line in the different place later. But I have noticed that the algorithms are drawing the same line. So this is only thing I wanted to mention. These small details we can look, we can see from the book map, and we cannot see anywhere else. Yes, exactly. That my trend line is in the right position. Okay, something like this.
Okay.
But nothing else.
Okay. Robert, is there something else maybe from recent days that you want to go over?
No, I can tell you, I really focused on a little bit different things. I started to read the book that Bogdan wrote, and I started to 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 search a little bit deeper how the setups are created. I mentioned a little bit today in the Bruce program when I was answering to Mr. Smiles that if we got the setup from you, or if we got the different setup from somebody else, somebody that it comes in such a direction, such a way that somebody has to invent this setup, and it comes, everything comes from observation. So if somebody asked me today, can I skip something like higher time frame or something? I said no, because it's not the parts of the parts of the setups are important because they are part of the observing process. Not it doesn't mean it's not important that we have number one, two, three, or four to feel. The important is the important thing is to observe, and if the next point is reached, then we can go far with with our setup, with our entry. So skipping some points, there is no point to skip. So I started I was looking a little bit less at our setups, but starting to build my uh, my my way, and started to understand some different things, like Shark is explaining me. Maybe it's not the moment to explain it very good. My English, as you can hear, is not also good. So maybe we can jump to the example you prepared. I can see. I don't remember also, but I will try to read it. I can see the area I highlighted. London Open.
This one above here, or
No,
this
no,
one?
no, no, no.
This
The,
one?
the, the next one. So
Oh,
it
okay.
was opening range breakout entry. Okay, so it was very clear. After some period, I had a breakout. Okay, I should exit here. I remember that I was waiting for so long. I could exit in the first place, and I could exit in the second place, and I made an exit later. Unfortunately, maybe I've got the tendency to make very, very, very long move. Yesterday, I can tell you, I made the longest move, I think, but I did not publish this because my journal was switched off. I was managed to do like something like I made about 10 trades yesterday. Not every trade was from our setup, but it was the longest trend line break accumulation. And I was playing only one contract. I made about $7,000. So it was a really good day for me. But unfortunately, I don't have it in my journal. Nothing to add, I think. I'm still learning, so I don't feel comfortable with explaining anything with such an audience like you. I can only listen. I should listen more.
Okay. I mean, well, I'll let the coaches jump in. This is something. Actually, I had a little bit of a conversation with Laura about, and Shark, you kind of mentioned it, and then Robert, you're definitely mentioning it now. That like the trendline break accumulation has not been setting up like it was before. Uh, the point is not, like you said, not to understand 1, 2, 3, and 4 perfectly, and it has to align perfectly, etc. It's about understanding the context, and the environment and the context that you're in, and then that's where this can be really, really helpful in when you start to look to develop your own strategies. So this is a breakout strategy, clearly, and there's all sorts of things to take a look at here. Range, and then breakout and measured move. So you had your stop here, or your take profit, and then you moved it, and you have high liquidity here, and it still busted through it. But then it just kind of gets you kind of trapped in there for an hour and uh, and 15 minutes or so, or hour and a half. I guess I'll just leave it with this, that something else I would like to look into for another potential strategy is contraction and expansion, and looking for those breakouts when they may occur, because it's all about timing. I would say even up here, after seeing like all this liquidity kind of traded in here, it went below the structure, it did not hold, came back up. You might have exited up here, and it might have come up to about here, 6,700 at that point. But after all that long waiting, so again, expansion, some contraction. We don't know if it's ready or not, and then looking for expansion again. Anyway, that's all I have to say. I don't know if Trading is Life, you maybe you have something to add.
Um, I just want to say, Robert, you really understand the trend line breakup accumulation setup because you've been very active with the new members and helping them understand and doing a great job with that and reading their comments. I see you really understand it. So I want to say thank you for that. Based on this trade here, um, you see you got in, then you moved your stop. Once you saw that the volume broke the liquidity and you see it didn't go anywhere, that was your sign. I mean, that would have been John in my head would have been saying, okay, this is your sign to exit right now. Because as you see, it just absorbed. It absorbed. You have the volume, you have the big dot, but price didn't move. It didn't go nowhere. So that's telling you there's a buyer there, a seller there that's absorbing all that buying pressure. So that was your cue to exit the trade. It went back down to the range. Once then you could have re-entered. So just keep that in mind. Once you see volume and the big dots, that's the seller there that's absorbing all that buying pressure. That was your cue to exit that trade. Other than that, I mean, it was a great trade. You understand the concept of the me and you spoke about the strategy. It wasn't coming up at all, but you're inputting your own step into it and stuff like that. But other than that, I just want to say you're doing a great job, Robert. So keep it up.
Thank you for the comments. For sure, I should exit on the very beginning. I understand. I now I remember that I was very exhausted with this trade because it went sideways. Unfortunately, I also jumped out of the computer, so this this possibility of exit in the middle, I was not present. So as you see, I did not wait even at the end and I exit, but as far as I remember, the price went up later, but it's not important. I should exit on the beginning, and I notice this much more often that I could make much more profit hitting the single as Bruce says and sometimes entering again. So I have to look at this. I can tell you all that I've got a lot of things in my head how to look at these trades. Why some of you are putting so small stop loss. As you can see here, it's my fighting. I'm not afraid of keeping a bigger stop loss, but when I look and hear some other guys that are experienced, they try to keep the stop very short or small. John, everybody's sorry, John all the time says keep it small, and even today was talking to Shark that his stop loss is perfect. It gives better risk reward ratio. So I'm young, but I try to change a little bit my way and hope someday it will be better. That's all.
Well said. I don't know if David, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, everyone's welcome, Bruce, aren't they? So whether you're an experienced trader or less experienced trader, please come and join us. Get on the mic, get on the stage, have a chat, and we all learn. We all learn. The thing that I've said a few times, I said today, John, didn't I, in the chat in Discord, was that John's pulled me up a few times for doing market orders all the time and not using enough limit entries and so forth. And that's more so on my Forex, so that, every day's a school day. The thing I'd say about this, Bruce, is time of day. There's some great comments on the chart itself, but be minded. John trades London Open as well. those little nuances that you get. We can see here, London opens, it scoots up, there's all the liquidity to go after, great. Then it sort of fails, it comes back, whether that's a low volume pullback, another conversation. And then off we go into it. That is the trade. The other thing to remember here on time of day is that at your 10 o'clock on this chart, that is when equities come out the blind. So at 10 o'clock, you've then got NVIDIA, you've got Tesla, you've got all the big tech coming online. And that's then when they can get fiddled in low volume and start getting messed around. I'm not saying that's why here it started to pick up the next sort of 5 minutes and we scooted back up, but just knowing these nuances throughout the day. The other thing is keep an eye on some of the key indexes. If you look at the DAX today, the DAX just went through record highs. Airbus sold another plane or whatever the reason or the narrative is. And it was a massive trigger this morning. It was ahead. It was ahead of ES. It was ahead of the Dow. It was ahead of everything. But it was given a good heads up because the DAX was going vertical. That might likely or possibly, whichever English day we wants to use, would drag or lead, follow the US indices. So that's my my 2 penneth there, Bruce, please.
Okay, all right. Let's see, John.
Yeah, 3 things here. Robert, this is a well-defined opening range breakout trade. And you actually didn't quite follow it because I think the target's going to be at that large liquidity area at 80. So if you're getting in at 71, 72 and your target's 80, that's 8, 9 handles of profit real quick. And that's very well defined. I don't see anything above that in terms of liquidity or reasons why that would encourage me to take it up any larger. So I think it was an outstanding trade, very well defined. You just didn't follow, really the scope of the trade. As far as seeing that range that followed did exactly what the volume told you it was going to do. The volume collapsed, market went sideways. And you
Yeah.
sat in there and just took that heat forever because there was no volume there. So, like Shark was saying, when the volume collapsed and that big volume dot did not take that market up any higher, that would have been my indication to get out, just like he said. Right now, and then the third thing I wanted to say is about your stop management. Your stop is at the bottom there. So just like what that volume dot is showing you, what Trading is Life mentioned was that as soon as the volume collapsed, I don't want to be long this market. So when you're first getting in where you did, why would you want to draw that all the way down? If that thing doesn't go with all that volume that's coming into the market, why would I want to be in it? And so I'm real quick to take that off because I'm anticipating that break. The opening range break, that's the purpose of taking that trade. You're looking to take that break up and you want it to just blast off. And if it doesn't, I'll wait for the next trade. I don't want it. But I'm not going to sit in there and in anguish taking that thing all the way down to the bottom of the range. So that's why my stops are really close because I don't want to be in it when we're going sideways like that forever. I want to be in the real quick moves because that's, like I said, that's the purpose of the trade is for that quick shot. That's what you're buying into. And if it doesn't happen, I'm out. So those are the 3 things that I wanted to mention.
Nice.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. So Trading is Life already talked. Shark or DNT? Shark?
I just say I know what this feels like, Robert. I've done this many times where I've had basically the perfect opportunity to take profit, with the just get in, get out, be done with it, and
Yep.
done something to change that, and then just felt trapped in the trade.
Yeah.
So I know what this feels like, and do want to compliment you on your patience, not specific to this trade, but you post some trades that cover some long time frames, and your patience is fantastic. So just
Yeah.
that's what I want to say.
Great shout.
So I'll say two things. Yeah, I agree with everyone, and I do like the comment that John made as well. Because the reason why is because it actually gives you structure. And you're I think you're similar to me. You know, you enter and you kind of gauge your risk reward. You kind of gauge your risk reward by like your set stop. And I use like five. I use like 5 points roughly, and based on the volatility. And so I keep a wide stop similar to you as well. And I actually trail like three structures behind. Usually, if I'm able to have a runner on the trade. A lot of times the runner's not always like a great idea if you keep wanting to try to squeeze as much as you can out of it. Sometimes the runner is best if you just take it and then you capture that, because that can lead to a lot of distress and like mental anguish, and it really messed me up. I think it was in October, where I just had these moves coming back like 10, 15, 20 points all the way back on me. And I was just dying and I just couldn't take it. So uh, I had to change something. So when I was doing my reviews at the end of the month, I made it a part of my structure to actually take the profit at the like VWAP. You know, I'm talking about another setup, not this setup, but you know, you kind of want to anchor your take profit somewhere. That way you're not driving yourself crazy, but not only that, but you actually get metrics from it too. And you know, you can start to like structure like a risk reward system for yourself. And you know, and I was telling Shark earlier, like see where these things go. You know, after you exit the trade, you know, and then you can start, you know, changing things later. But it really helps to have the structure and take the profit where you think where you have your target really. And I do the same thing, and I think we're very similar in that way as well. And with the trendline break accumulation setup, and I posted this yesterday, I think that I'm going to start just taking it at the VWAP and see what happens. Is what you might notice is it sets up another trade, like it sets up a whole separate trade in itself. But if you're able to capture what you can, if you're able to like have structure and take your profit where you think you can take profit, then you can probably wait, right? And then you can see if another trade sets up at that point. Um, but at least you're not having to sit through that and having, you know, does that kind of make sense where it kind of gives you structure?
Hmm.
I think I know
Like,
what you mean, DNT. One of your strengths that I've seen again and again is you're really good at identifying market structure. I think that's one of your skills, and you know, really cluing into some of the details. Like, you know, I mean, this here is a beauty. I think market structure wise. I mean, doesn't get much clearer. You know, and you got the impulse move. It did the right move. It did a measured move. It hit high liquidity. It went through it, and then it just died. And here's Shark's low volume pullback. In fact, here's another low volume pullback, like a double top, and it's just wallowing around, and before it's ready to kind of build up for the next move. But that, I think, Robert, that's what my takeaway is on
Maybe
the
maybe I
feedback.
will comment a little bit more because when I look at this setup, I really don't like it. Maybe the entry is okay, but when I did not take the profit on the very beginning, and then when I look at my money management, that I wasn't even thinking very much of it. The trade was mostly on profit because it was like on zero, on break even, on a little bit on profit, on break even, but you know, it looks like I was waiting for the stop loss with a quite big stop. So it's stupidity not to finish it earlier, because I was waiting for the market to hit my stop loss. In this moment, I'm looking like this. I'm looking at this in this way. So I should, in any place in this trade, I should close it. I should close it earlier and wait for the next one, because keeping the stop loss in this place, oh, it it's stupid. But I did
Now
it.
We're
you're
No,
now
we're
you're
we're
ready for
drunk.
Robert.
I don't remember. Maybe.
We're drunk when we're in these when we're in a trade. And if you
Nova.
don't have like if you don't have like a structure around your trade, then you're going to be making these decisions. And I do the same thing all the time, but so I'm still working on it myself, where I'm trying not to like adjust, where I'm trying to like actually have my targets and stuff in place. But one of the main things that is interesting too is, this to me, and I remember when Vinny was a coach, or he would get more on these webinars with us, and he's a really good breakout trader. And I think that breakout, I don't know this, I'm just, but I think breakout trading is kind of like, it's scalpy, right? So I
Yeah.
think in scalps, you want to keep a tight stop. And I don't know this, Bruce and David would probably be able to better answer this, but I think in a breakout, if you're trading a breakout, you want to look at the risk reward. And I think in breakouts, you don't want a large stop loss. If I'm pretty sure that's correct. I'm pretty sure you want to tighten it. Like on a
Yeah.
reversal, it's different. You need to let it breathe. But I think on a breakout, I think you keep them tighter. If I'm pretty sure
Yeah. It's a good point.
yeah, they're different. Yeah, the breakouts are a little bit different, and I think they're more scalpy trades. So if you're a scalper and you're in a scalpy trader, then I think you need to keep it tighter. But if you're trading the reversal, then I do think I think you can let that thing breathe a little bit more. But I think they're different in terms of trade and
I
risk
don't
management.
know. I don't know what kind of trader I am, because I'm not a trader. I don't have an edge, but I'm starting to look what I like. I think that I could like the scalping methods. I was scalping a little bit in old time on oscillator, on stochastic, but
I'm
now
sorry.
this is
Maybe I
something
wasn't. What I meant to
completely
say, I'm sorry, is that I
okay.
think that this is a breakout trade. So like the
Yeah.
reversal trade is a reversal trade, like the trend line break accumulation, like that's not a breakout trade. That's a reversal trade.
Yeah.
And like this
Yes.
trade here, this is a breakout trade. So this like actually is like it's like, I think it's more scalp. I think it's like
Yes.
a scalp,
Yes.
right? So
Definitely.
that's what I meant to say. I'm not saying you are a breakout trader, or like what kind of trader are you?
Yeah. Okay. I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, exactly. I think that this is a scalp type trade.
And this is the something that I did not. I was never looking at the breakout in this way, and I have got good lesson today. That breakout, looking at the breakout, I cannot keep the same wide stop loss like in trend line break accumulation method. So
Very good.
very good information for me. Something very easy to understand and obvious, I would say, but I didn't know that before. So I
Yeah,
and I
it
did not
really
notice.
changes. Yeah, it really changes your mind on like how you look at these trades, and
Yeah,
how you
yeah.
manage your risk around them. And David could probably clarify. I mean, does that kind of sound accurate?
It does. It does. I use the word although if I caveat with it. There are times when my stop is very, very wide, where I've got real belief, particularly like into the close where it can get really choppy, that I'll look at the chart and I'll have my stop way below, on the basis that I've become quite cocky and arrogant on that moment that I believe we're going to go in a particular direction. So I don't want to get whipped out. Otherwise, I'm using as I've talked about many times, I'm using either the ATM feature of Ninja, which is the automated, I think, trade management tool, or I'm using Shark Indicators, their Blackbird, that's whipping the stop through very, very quickly once I'm, whether it's 4 points in, 6 points in, 8 points in. So when the market's moving quick, I get in and it takes care of itself. The only thing I'll often move around then is the take profit. If I think actually this is going, so I'll slide the take profit up. Otherwise, the stop takes care of itself.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, thank you for this information, because I wasn't thinking that some different setups has different stop losses, and now
Yeah.
I will look at this in this way.
Yeah, I mean, with this chart here, it's easy to say with Captain. We haven't had it, Bruce, have we? Monday morning quarterbacks, Captain Hindsight. But the stop needs to be below the open. That's for sure. Below that opening range, as John would talk about, or I talk about, ORBs. It's got to be below that. If you're feeling bullish, Bruce, is that my segue? If you can pull up my DAX chart, please, from today. Now, sure, this is Captain Hindsight, all those other great phrases. The DAX this morning was, you'll see, was going absolutely mental. And it was going mental before, this is London time, this was going mental before we saw a lot of movement within the US indices. Now, it doesn't happen every day, but you can just see how aggressively the DAX was being bought this morning. Now, Laura might have a narrative on that. Others may have a narrative on it, but it was a really good bit of confluence of what's going on. I'm looking at this chart, and then so to the stop loss conversation, if I'm seeing this market going crazy, I also look at Hero, S&P 500. That went, John, I think we started the morning at, I'm going to say, about 400 million negative. Pretty quickly that got positive.
Yes.
So I'm feeling bullish in terms of my stop loss. Do I want to be tight? Probably not. Probably not. I just want to keep it wide. It is a Heineken chart, as I'd call it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
I like
I've got a caveat. It's not the same every day, but when this is going on, so when I can see this going on, at the same time, the euro's going, technical word, batshit. The dollar was falling all morning on Dixie. The euro's going up because people are buying euros to buy this. I know it's a bit more complicated than that, David. Right. But as a currency flow, I know the currency is going the right way. The European indices is going the right way. The options going the right way. Keep your stop loss wide, David, because you don't want to get whipped out for the sake of what the market's going to end up with. And look where the Nasdaq finished just now. Is that all-time high again? I don't know.
I would just like to mention one more thing, Robert, because of all your work in the pilot program and all the really you really came in and embraced it and posted and kept posting and kept trading and posting and learning, and you were building an edge. And I think you nailed it with your comment in here. This is not an edge. You don't know if you have an edge yet. You need to continue to build it out and study it until you have an edge. Maybe the edge is to take your profit really quickly when you see the high liquidity and lack of volume up here at the top. It's up to you on a breakout. I think the best that you can get from something where you don't know you have an edge is to learn from. That would be my final comment. Anyone else? I think, John, you were saying something. Someone was talking.
No, I was just agreeing with you. No, sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. I think, Robert, are we good to move on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And oh wow, we got a few more here.
Maybe my general comment will be like this: that I really recommend to everybody the book that Shark recommended me about the traders of our times. Yeah, something like this.
The Bogdan book.
The Bogdan book. I can tell you, I have read only 2 chapters, but the chapter number 2 about the razor. It's for me. It was like it changed everything. I would say. I understand now that looking not at the setups, but looking at the chart and looking and trying to understand the price and why that things happens, it gives you the possibility to understand the market, to wait. Also, it's something about the stop losses to protect the money to more act a little bit less, and try to enter in the moment when you could put, like he could, let's say 600 on or even 1,000 contracts. Be so sure. So to be so sure, you have to observe. You cannot look like, oh, it's a setup, I will enter. No, you have to be sure. So I try to look at the market a little bit in different way, and I suggest everybody should read this book. It's really good.
Okay. Let's see. Boy, this is a beauty here, Robert, and I don't know if I'd like to kind of move on to maybe someone else, but
Okay,
you've
no
got
problem.
I mean, look at the passive accumulation here, just beautiful. And then you look at the selling coming in after the small trend line break, down to this one, bounces around, and then you get the break again. That's where you get in, and you get in on a low volume pullback as well. You enter again, and you pull it down right into the high liquidity down here below the swing. It's a beauty. So I don't know, maybe a quick lightning round on that one. Anyone have any comments? We'll start with trading is life.
No, like you said, it's a beauty. Robert really understand the concept. All 4 elements was there. He have his 3 passive accumulation, his higher time frame, the structure. Trend line broke. Once the trend line broke, he waited for his pullback. He got in. Then he saw it was a low volume pullback. He got in again, basically doubled his position, and he just draw his trend line basically as a his second trend line basically as a guide to keep him in the trade, and he exit both positions at the liquidity area. I mean, that's like textbook perfect example of the strategy. It's perfect, Robert. I have no comment about that. In the meantime, as you can see, as the um, trend is going down, his volume is rising. That's reassuring him that the price action is still going to go down. And look at the difference between the red dots and the green dots. Look how big is the red dots are, and look how little the green dots are. That's another thing you could look at to let you know that price is still working out in your favor. But I mean, he executed this trade perfectly. Back to you, Bruce.
Shark or DNT? DNT.
No, nothing. Looks good.
But look, guys, at the stop loss, I was not thinking about the stop. I'm not afraid. Even on the left-hand side, you can see settings 50 ticks profit, 50 ticks stop loss, and nothing was changed during the whole trade. So it's not. It does not look like management, and I'm aware of this. That maybe that's why that maybe reason is because the trade was going in my direction and I was not afraid. But anyway, I should do something with this in the future.
Yeah, your stop loss should be right above the structure. You see where the number one is and your passive accumulation, right? Bruce, bring it down.
Here.
No, down. No, up, right there, where it says
I think
low
you're
volume. Oh, yeah, right there. That's where
talking
he,
here.
right
Yeah.
above, right there. That's where your stop. That's where your your theory is invalid, because once it breaks the range, is back into the range, and past that, it's gonna go back up. So that's where your stop loss. That's where I would have placed my stop loss right there. That's, anybody else want to take over?
I'll have a stab. Yeah, great charting, great trading. We're buying until we're selling, but then that's the thing here. A bit like the YM chart, the Dow chart Bruce put up of mine earlier on. You've got the liquidity coming in. It's building. There's a long to be had there. That's the thing. There's a long to chase the price into the liquidity for some bucks. Is what I'd be looking to take. John, what do you think, buddy? Please.
Just like you said, David, you have the buying until you have the selling. So
Yeah.
on the way up to passive accumulation, you're on the offer and all your trades, all your bubbles are green.
Yes.
Trend line breaks, all the bubbles turn red.
Yeah.
And that's a brilliant read by you, Robert. I don't understand why you need the subgraph. I don't know what that CVD is going to tell you when you have such an outstanding read on your main chart. I know why people put it down there. It's kind of a default, but you didn't mention it in any of your notes, and you have, I believe, all the information that you need on your main chart.
Yeah.
By way of the volume dots and the volume bars to determine which way the cumulative value is working. So I would encourage you maybe just to try without it and see if you really need that, because I'm not seeing it. Unless you can tell me what that does for you now, I don't know why it's on
No,
this chart.
no. As a matter of fact, I don't use it, and you know, I don't have too much experience with the volume at all. So even sometimes I try to take something from your comments. Recently, I started to look at the right side at the table when I can look the something like low volume node, and this is everything. It's new for me, and I try to find some information, and I have to also build my knowledge because I don't have this knowledge. So sometimes you are talking about the things I don't understand because it was not in the program.
Yeah, but you're way on you're very far on your way to understanding the overall trends of the market by way of your remarks on your chart. I mean, you're reading it. And
Yeah,
I
but
would
these 4 points from Bruce and from all of the comments I got from you and the others. But sometimes it's something like something different. So I have to make notes and look somewhere
sure,
what they are talking about. And
absolutely.
the program of learning does not include everything. So I have to look for this knowledge, and from one day to the other I'm getting more information, so my look will be even more precise, or I don't know how to say it.
I know right where
So
you were. I know right where you are, Robert. I was there 6 years ago. I know exactly where you are. So you're doing a great job. Yes, sir.
okay, thank you.
I,
Uh,
I would just well, I'll wait, and I do have something to add. I'm sorry, DNT or David. I think you guys were jumping in.
I just saw a comment on YouTube asking about the dots, like why you see red dots slamming it down at 67. And I'd say that the inverse is also true for the green dots hitting it at the highs, and then it reverses. So that's a question on YouTube. I don't know if you want to take that, Bruce, or if you want me to just try to take this.
If you want to, go ahead, DNT.
I just see like the red dots. If you got this big red dot that's selling there at 67, that sellers, those are sellers in a horizontal, it clusters all those sellers together so you can see it a little more easier. So you have aggressive selling at that level, and price still reverses anyways. Now you'll see this everywhere in Bookmap. The thing is you need to see this. You want to see this type of action at your key levels, because this stuff happens all the time, and you can try to interpret it all you want, but you really want you want to really try to notice what you just mentioned. That's like absorption. So all those buyers are there, but price is not going up. That's a lot of buyers that are stepping on the gas, but they're not able to go anywhere. That means that there's sellers there. That's supply there, or demand. If sellers are going down and they're slamming it, and they can't go down, those are buyers. Those are buyers there absorbing all that selling. So you could see this everywhere. But the thing is you want to see this at your key levels, and you want to see your criteria field for your setup. So don't get too lost in the minutia.
Thanks. The thing that I'd add in, Bruce, I do run CVD on my charts, as most of you know, but I run it as session CVD. So it's looking at, and I split it up between the sellers and buyers for the, it's not necessarily for the day, but it's for that session that Bookmap is picking me up. So it's something I just like to have a little eye, particularly on equities, in terms of what we're doing and what we're not doing. Another point on the 67 there, just to add in, and it's really, I'm not going to say something, Bruce, that Scott may say, but one of those institutional traders would say, and I think back, John, on conversations with Walter, that he'd mentioned this at times, is that, and it might be just old folklore, is that the institutions will step in to rally the market. They'll buy to get a better price on selling. So you can see these little quirks. Whether it's true or not is another thing, Bruce. We saw that a bit. Yeah, we saw that a bit earlier on one of the charts where it's like blipping up. Hang on, there's a lot of buying going on there. Yeah, it's buying, it's hitting sellers. But Who are those people buying? Are they buying because they're about to sell? That's the thing. Back to Bruce.
John, you were going to mention something, I believe.
Well, yeah, I mean, I see that, David, when we see the stop runs. I mean, there's single entities that are pushing 500 contracts, and they're clipping some stops at some inflection points. I mean, that's not me, and they're buying, or it may be you, but it's not me. But there are some bigger players, and I think there's some bigger players at work here. Taking that up the liquidity. I think that was planned, and that's why it's so valuable. And we recognize that, and we can use order flow to look at a possible inflection point and join them.
Very true.
So I do think that there's a fair amount of that, especially in the S&P. Always has been, and I knew the guys that were doing it, so I knew they were. But I'm sure it's in most all the markets. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, great point.
Bruce.
Yeah. Well, no, guys, I think there's some things like I think Robert and Laura were Laura had reached out to me about some things, and I want to mention it and cover it in the webinar tomorrow. But like Robert, so you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 here marked really well. This setup. It's clean. It's clear. You nailed it. And this is through your experience of using the replay mode, and then forward trading, and then live trading. I think, and you mentioned something about the razor, and I'm thinking what he's talking about is understanding the context. I don't know, I haven't read it, but so you can see, like, here the context is really clear. You've got massive accumulation in front of a high, century figure up here. And then you see the sellers coming in, you see the structure break and fall apart, and the sellers really come in. But you can start to look at some of these things and start to understand like, what if there were, less, maybe just one line of liquidity up here, and what if these volume dots weren't as big? Well, maybe this would kind of turn into a sideways market. That would be the context. And maybe there would be high liquidity under here. Maybe that would be the move that you'd be looking for, and that's it. So understanding this setup of understanding the passive side to and the break, and then to the aggressive side, that context is going to serve you extremely well for anything. And you don't need the 1, 2, and 3 and 4. You'll understand, like, I only got one, and I'm looking for something a little bit more. Maybe I can hit a single out of this, or in this case, you got all 4, you nailed it, and you're looking for hitting a double, triple, home run, whatever, at that point. But anyway, I just wanted to mention about the context, and you will start to it will grow on you, and you'll start to observe these things and then bring that into a strategy. You're already doing it on the breakout trade covered earlier. So that's my comment.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see. We've got a little bit more time, and I want to add WinTim up to the stage. And we've got, I think this is you. Hold on a minute. Is this it here? Is a beauty of a chart, I'll tell you that. But anyway, WinTim, welcome. And I cannot hear you. Okay. Still can't hear you.
Hello, hello.
Yes, there you are.
Hello, hello. Okay. Hello. I'm from Germany. My English is not so good, but I try it. This trade is from me. Yes.
Oh, great. Okay. Well, do you want to walk us through the trade?
Yes. To explain the trade, I must show you the context because for me the context is king, and I use the TPO. And this night, after the news, the market, there was aggressive selling into a zone. There was a POC a few weeks ago, and the chart reacts on this point and built a cluster. This was 1 hour before London Open, and for me, that's not the time to build a new range setup or a reaction on the resistance zone. And you see on the picture on the left side is a little absorption cluster, and chart move up, build a double top, come down, and I had put a little picture in what I see live in this moment, because the box I painted in the chart before, and then I was nearly with the screen and saw, okay, stop fishing in the MBO add-on, and then the cluster and the Nasdaq. It's so I like to look to place a stop order before a structure high when I have for a reversal sorts, because the momentum is on my side, and I try to be fast in profit. because my personality is scalping, fast day trading. I like fast results, and yeah, for me, I trade often this setup, this break-in setup, because it's clearly to say these checkpoints are done, and I go into the trade, and the target's often the middle of the range. Yeah.
Okay, great. Nice trade. Let's see. I'll turn it over to Trading His Life.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes. Nice trade with them. I see. When it was on a downtrend, it broke the range, got into the range. Then I see the exhaustion. Once it broke the range back up, you entered the position and exit right at the next liquidity for your base hit. Perfect textbook trade. Looked like more like a V reversal, but um that's it. I have you place your stop loss. Well, I don't see your stop loss, but
It's down here underneath the liquidity.
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, you use the exactly. Your stop loss is placed perfectly. You're using the liquidity as a shield. So once it broke that liquidity, then you know your bias is invalid. So perfect trade. Good call.
Thanks.
All right.
Anybody?
It's a Shark or DNT. Why don't you take it next?
Hey, sorry, I'm reading the chart now. Sorry about that. If you could probably go to somebody else.
Okay, Shark.
It's a beautiful trade. I don't trade ETH hours, but it's really cool to see. You identify that cluster. Um, I love the entry. I myself often use stop orders as entries. Um, it's a fantastic trade. You've been putting in some really good work, Wintim. It's good stuff to see.
Thanks.
And how about David?
Yeah, no, thanks, guys. Well, welcome first of all, Winton. Great to see a fellow ETH trader. Time of day, Bruce. Time of day. So your 8 a.m. there is my 7 a.m., which is when a lot of the European desks and bourses are starting to open. Sadly, I'm not up this time of day like I used to be when I was really actively trading Forex. But that's what we've got. It's that time of day. It's the, as I call it, the European ORB for you, Laura. And on a lot of my Forex charts, I do mark my 7 a.m. and then the London 8 a.m. And that's what we've got here. Those guys are coming in and they're starting to bid off that level. That's pure and simple for me. Yeah, but great trade. Well done.
Thank you.
John, like to make a comment?
Yes. So you have your price level that's well established. The market comes back down into it. I would just caution you about entering on a stop. I'm not a fan of doing that because I'm afraid of getting filled on low volume. In this instance, volume did come into the market and it carried you up to liquidity. So I would be more inclined to wait for the volume to come in so I could join it on that break. You've got new liquidity showing on your chart at number 4. You placed your target there. And so I think everything was great. The only reservation I have is entering in on a stop in the ETH because of the potential getting filled on a low volume break. But otherwise, I think it's wonderful. Bruce?
DNT, did you have a chance to digest a little here?
Just a little bit. What time is London open in the Eastern time?
Eastern time. London is 5 hours, so 9:30 would be 2:30, right? Is that right?
Mm,
I mean, I'm sorry.
It's
I'm sorry. The opposite.
3
Four,
a.m.
four.
Yes, yes, yes.
3 a.m. for you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 a.m.
3:30.
Yeah.
Or
And what do you say about the time of day, David? You don't do it as much anymore, but yeah.
It's because the European desks are slightly different. Someone might correct me on that, but the 8 a.m. London, that's when London opens. Then an hour before, you've got European desks starting to come on, as well as Asia closing down. So this 7 a.m., my 7 a.m. or that 8 a.m. there, you do get some institutional trading going on. And if you
Pretty cool.
if you look at charts, particularly on Forex, but you can look at all of them. Income, the orders are going through, bang. It's not as big as the London Open, but it still is, a major
Something. Okay.
something of
Yep.
interest. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Good job, Winton. Maybe is this the time you normally trade?
No. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
This I trade this trade because gestern FOMC news, the market pushed up, and this night the market pushed down, 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 and react on the level. I can show this is a POC from
Okay, you posted in
days ago.
the your higher time frame. I see that. Okay.
Yes. So you can see it, and for me the reaction is here to build a pullback, and I saw this cluster, and when I saw a cluster for a big cluster, then I trade this setup. But normally I trade 1 hour after New York Open, when initial balance is built, and then often I took these trades.
Where was your trade on that chart that you just shared? Was it at the red or the yellow?
Yellow.
The bottom yellow.
Yes.
Okay, got you. So you waited for the stop pick, and then it pulled up or impulsed up, and then it pulls back again to the downside, and then you get sellers slamming it, right? Like picking stops and which is basically being absorbed, right? The sellers on the second where you entered, you waited for the sellers to stop, or you waited for that absorption, right? And then you entered.
I saw this. Also, this chart was built when I trade. I saw this, and I came to the chart, and there was a cluster, and I saw this cluster is
Okay, go to the bookmap, Bruce.
in chat, and when I have a cluster, and the bookmap is a cluster, then for me context is king, and I use bookmap to get a nice entry.
Okay, nice. So you see you drew from your yellow line, the price moved up or impulses up, right? And then
Yes.
it pulls back to your zone that you're looking at, that high volume zone, and
Yes.
picks stops is what you said. So it's the price is being absorbed there, and then you take that entry. Right, I see. Yeah, pretty
Yes.
good. I look for that same thing too. I look for the move out, but and then the pullback, and then wait for absorption, and then the entry. It's a good trigger, I think, too. Yeah,
Thank
good
you.
job. Thank you for posting.
Yeah, I don't really I don't really know how to comment on some of this in here. To me, this is the NQ, and it's a little difficult to read when you kind of zoom out. But this is this cluster here, or this is more like your stop run, and then it starts to accumulate in here on the buy side, as you can see, and it springs out of that area pretty nicely. You get a return back there. I'm sorry, I couldn't really read your, I don't know where that relates to this here. But anyway, we get the second cluster, over here. Again, looks like a stop run here. I'm just not seeing a whole lot of absorption that you're talking about. I see more as a stop run, and then I see the aggressors accumulating, like you had identified in here, and you can see it right here, right? And you can start to see it in here as well, and that's what is pulling it up out of there. So return back to the zone. I really like your reasoning or logic, FOMC. It's you're looking for the London Open. This is you're gonna fade this move back into the range. And you're looking for it. You're waiting. You're watching, and looking for it. Pretty nice. Also, I love the use of several people mentioned the liquidity. There's this previous swing here. The volume profile, guys, like I'm just kind of curious, like why not here? Looking for your take profit. I know you said liquidity. Some of it was pulled, but this is your high volume node. Here's your low volume node. Here's your break back in. So this is potentially your fuel or your stop run or your squeeze to the upside. So that would be just a question I had. Were you looking for maybe a range in here, or were you looking to? Do you take it right back to the literal point of control, or do you kind of look for this kind of high volume node in this area here as a take profit sometimes?
There are many zones because there is also a low from the cluster above in the middle you saw, and then step liquidity in, and I use Bookmap for 4 weeks, and I must to train my eyes to look at volume profile where are there the zones, and not to switch in another program look there at volume profile, also because I must train it. And I have no confidence now at this time to take take profit on volume profile.
Oh, okay. So are you kind of trying to break old habits of profile? If I understood that correctly?
Yeah, yes. Because I will train my eyes to check this, and it's okay, but not look there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you can always find or justify a low volume or high volume node somewhere along the way,
Yes.
potentially. Yeah. No, I like it. Another thing too, like we talked about the low volume pullback quite a bit today, and I don't know, just something to consider with your further studies. It broke structure here, like you had recognized. You got in on the buy stop, and you get the move up, and you get a pullback right to it right here. Yeah, I don't know if I don't really see too much. Again, it's the NQ, but there is some structure up here that makes some sense. But there's another potential trade as well. If this is going to be kind of like your reversal or, your pullback, and then you're looking for continuation after that, maybe you can, you're buying, instead of buying the breakout, look for a pullback, and then also look for another continuation move, maybe up in here. Just a thought, because the volume really started to pick up a little bit later. If that was your thesis, was the fade back in, this is starting to tell you something. Really a very nice read on that idea. I think on the pullback. I'm sorry, on the fade in the beginning of the European Open.
Yes, thanks. For me, it helps to find myself, to look at low volume pullback, or look at CVD, or look at a volume profile. I must train, and the screenshots and review helped me to find myself to do this things in a few seconds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice. Really a very nice idea.
Yeah.
Guys, anything else?
Not beyond nice to see some ETH trading, Bruce. Has to be said.
All
Has to be
right.
said.
Yeah. Well, David, you're gonna have to lead that band.
Yeah, with John. With John's an ETH trader. That's
Is
for
he?
sure. Oh, big time, aren't you, John?
A little bit. I catch the London Open, then get back in bed. That doesn't really qualify me as an ETH
Well,
trader.
Moby does. Moby trades
does.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
he's
used
on
to
that
trade
side
it
of
a
the
lot
planet.
with him years ago. Used
Yeah.
to trade it with Moby. A lot of fun.
Yeah. Guys, it's just after 6, and glad to welcome Wintim. A very nice markup, chart markup. Very nice journaling here, and interesting. Nice to see. This is why we have the Bookmap Academy. It's not all pilot program. Is to get fresh ideas, and to kind of think about things and how oh, that's interesting. Interesting way to consider the European Open, and you've got it backed with your own experience. So great stuff. And again, like thank you all, coaches, and other participants in here. Some great work. If you guys are still in here, like I see Min, Christy, Greg, others here, Tony. I know Tony's posted before, but you guys, Owen, welcome. You've posted now a few times. Guys, post in the room, and you're going to get feedback. Now, it's not just posting for the Academy. You got to actually put it into a spreadsheet. It's no big deal at all, but all you have to do is take your link from your post. Here's Trading is Life right here. Just take your link from your Discord post, paste it in, and put the date on it. He even put something more, and he put the long position, and he put platform is Bookmap. That's it. We don't even need that. You just need the date and the link here. And if you build them out during the week, we will look at it and we will cover it. So that's how you get coverage here in the Bookmap Academy. Just trying not to make it too taxing for you guys. Anyway, thanks all, coaches. Welcome, John, and others in here. So really great stuff, and great to be back after a few weeks.
Likewise. Great stuff, Bruce. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, John,
Again.
why don't you take us out here?
Good job. Good job.
Lots of great content in here. Keep the posting up. For those of you who are just joining, like Bruce said, it's a marvelous way to get an education because it's specific to what you're looking at. It's a great way to fix little things that we all have about our trading. So I would encourage you to do that. We're all friends in here,
Yeah.
and it's a great educational opportunity. So thank you, and I will see you next week.